Hey everyone, welcome to WitchSlapped, the PopWire Aftershow for SYFY's SurrealEstate. My name's Rowell.
And I'm Dani. How's everybody doing?
Hey, so we've been gone a couple of weeks. It was good to be back. Dani, I hope you're doing well.
I am. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I've been through.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we begin, I just want to say that we have been getting some critical feedback on
Okay.
social media for our WitchSlapped Aftershow. So if any of you have any ideas on what or suggestions on what we can do to make this more entertaining for you guys, please let us know. We're open to suggestions. All right. Well, with that said, we are going to jump right into episode 308. We're almost done with the season, y'all. So, Dani, tell us a little about episode 308 of SurrealEstate.
Okay. So the title of this week's episode is Perchance to Dream. The staff of Rome and Ireland experience frightening dreams that feature a mysterious woman who lived and died in one of their listings. Luke's nemesis, Tyler, targets Susan to weaken Luke's resistance. This episode was written by Thomas Pepper and directed by T.W. Peacock.
All right. So, my who said it, I'm going to say a quote from the episode, and you'll all have to figure out who said it. Okay. So, my who said it is, I need to work.
I need to work.
I need to work.
Oh, wait. Yes. Okay, I think I got it.
Okay. Everybody, put your guesses in the comments below because we're gonna say who it is. Okay, Dani, go ahead.
Okay, it was Susan who said it. It happened towards the beginning of the episode, right? Like, she arrives at work. This is, I think, the day after Tag has died. Oh. And she basically, the way she wants to deal with it, the way she wants to deal with her grief is she's just gonna work through it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep herself busy.
Yes, you got it. So I think at the end of last episode, he got hit by the car. It was up in the air whether or not he lived or died, right? Is that what I'm remembering? Is that right? And then in the beginning of this episode, as Dani said, that's when we find out that they actually killed him off. And I feel so sad. And again, the tag
Super sad.
is played by Alex Ozerov-Meyer, who was great in the past few episodes. But I feel bad because he only went outside to save Susan. And the one time he steps outside, that's when he dies. That's very unfortunate. Near the end of the episode, we find out that Tag in the afterlife actually helped Susan. And he handed off the business card that Susan had given him earlier. And I thought that was really beautiful and touching. And
Yeah. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of the episode.
What are your thoughts on his death? Are you can you believe it did that or?
I was really surprised. I think Tag was a great addition to the team, and he was such a sweetheart and so smart. And it was definitely a shocker. I'm glad they at least gave him a heroic ending.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Not that he couldn't be heroic from, behind the screen because he was constantly helping the team. But he really faced his fear of being out, and the acting in that scene too. Just the way he showed fear, right? And sort of like the dizziness of like being outside of his protective home. And it was really sad to see him go.
Oh, yes. So he was run over by Malik or Tyler or Elvis, the elephant, played by R. Austin Ball, because Tyler wanted to make a deal with the agency. And Susan said, no, that's not happening. And then Luke told Tyler what happened. And then I think Tyler was like, oh, it would be a shame for anything to happen to Susan. So he was like targeting her. When I read the description of this episode, wait, was it this episode? Yeah, when Tyler targets Susan. When I read this description a few weeks ago, I thought, oh, maybe my theory or my guess did come true. Where he was gonna possess.
I thought the same thing.
Where he was gonna possess
Yes.
Susan, because poor Susan, she always gets possessed every season. So Well, this still could happen. We'll see. So, favorite moments from the episode, Dani. What was your favorite moments from the episode?
I really enjoyed the scene with Susan and Lomax when they were sitting, I think, on the porch of her mother's home, and they were drinking wine, and you could see behind them all the bricks being thrown because of the haunted bricks. I thought that was hilarious. So I got a good chuckle out of that. Um, Other than that, I think the ending for the main spirit of this week's episode, Dorothy, seeing her get her happy ending was really, really nice. You know, learning that she had made a connection with Lydia and decided that she wanted to use her wealth to help girls like Lydia in Liberia.
Yes.
Um, and so she had hidden a bunch of gold, like millions of dollars worth of gold in her backyard. And once Luke figured it out, you know, he told her that he'd be able to dig everything up, and then he had found a couple of organizations
Mhm.
that are doing some work in the town that Lydia's actually from,
Mhm.
and yeah, and he's gonna donate to the organizations, and I thought that was really, really beautiful.
Absolutely, yes. And those 2 are actually on my list. So yeah, that's really funny,
Really?
yes. So, as you know, you mentioned it was Susan and Lomax were sitting at the doorstep, they were having wine, and what did she say? Susan says, "If we have to replace that wall, we're gonna be way over budget and below schedule," and I thought, yeah, like, it was funny because they were acting still normal while something paranormal
Uh-huh.
was happening behind them. I thought that was really funny. So the big moment for me is at the end of the episode when Luke finally makes a connection, finally, that Tyler or Malik or Elvis is is one and the same. So he finally realizes it, and I think the screen goes to black. So it'll be interesting to see next week's episode how he handles how what he does with that information. And then another thing I wanted to bring up for like a big moment was the Bricks storyline made a return.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, I was a bit disappointed. I prefer I prefer your story on the
Thank
Bricks.
you.
I was
Me
really
too.
hoping it would go that direction because that would have been such a good
Yeah.
payoff. So, Danny, if you don't mind, if you could go back
Mhm.
to if what was your theory on the Bricks, which I loved.
Yeah, so what I was thinking is because these bricks had come from, some ruins outside of the town from this guy named Victor. He sold them to Susan. No, actually, he sold them to Lomax, and Lomax gave them to Susan to help with the home. Um, but what I was thinking is, you know, one of the bricks had a symbol on it. It was like the medical symbol, essentially. It's a staff with a snake, and I think in place of the staff, it looked like a key or something, but it was very similar to what is the medical symbol in the US. And so I did some like reading up on it, and it comes from some different Greek and Roman mythology. And what I was thinking essentially is that maybe that ruin once contained something like Malik, because we also I mean, it's possible that Malik might also be sort of ancient, just like this kind of ancient symbol coming from, you know, ancient Greece. So yeah, I was thinking that maybe this ruin at one point sort of contained Malik or something like him, and maybe they would be used in the future to contain him once again. But I guess that's not the story.
That would have been amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so George R. Olson, if you're watching this right now, and then if the series gets picked up for season 4, you should bring Danny on as a writer. She would be really good.
No, bring on Rowell.
No,
You have the best ideas for this kind of
no, no,
stuff.
no, no, no.
Yeah, no, you really do.
All right, so what was your big moments from the episode?
Actually, my big moment was the same as yours. It was, you know, Luke finally realizing who Tyler is. Like you know, this is what the entire season's been leading up to, and we have how many more episodes? One, two?
2.
We have 2 episodes left, so shit's gonna get real.
Yes. Oh, is anyone else gonna die?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh God, don't say that. I can't handle anymore.
And now it's time for our caption this. This week we have been posting a photo from the episode, this week's episode, on social media, asking you to caption this, to add your caption. And yeah, so we will play that for you now. Let's take a look. Okay, those were our caption this submissions. Be sure to follow PopWire Nets on all social platforms and keep an eye out for our post where we ask you to caption this. Reply to that post with your caption and we will include it in our next episode of WitchSlapped.
All right, now we're moving on to my Who Said It. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So my quote is, "I'm a team player."
Okay. I think that might have been said by Tag, played by Alex Osterhoff-Meyer. I think, because I remember him like doubting himself, and then I think that's what prompted Susan to bring him the box of business cards and said, you are part of the team, you're a vital member of the team, and we appreciate you, even though you're not in the office with us, we value what you do. And is that right? Am I right?
Okay, so you're not right, but I can totally understand why you would think it was Tag based on that explanation. It was Tyler. So this is when Luke meets up with Tyler at the Tall Tale Heart at that bar, right? And Luke's already had a few, and so Tyler sits down and he's like, he says something about drinking early or whatever, and he's like, "But I'm a team player. Like, basically, I'll drink with you."
Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't
sorry.
remember that. That's a good one. All right, so now, performer of the episode, Dani's favorite moment featured my favorite performer. So Dorothy Kamara, played by Patrice Goodman. And yeah, Dorothy was the one giving them bad news, and Dani already broke down everything, how Dorothy was saving a whole bunch of money. And Luke said that, with her permission, Luke will make sure that the money goes to the organizations in Liberia who are doing great work. And yeah, I just loved her performance. Like, first she had that knife to Luke's neck, and then he told her, this is not a dream. And then you could see her back away, like, whoa, what's going on? Like, how can you see me? And then we started to see her, like, I guess her humanity or human side, and how she got much softer. And then she started breaking down in tears. And oh, I love that moment. And this out of all of the ghost stories this season, I think her performance was my favorite so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. It was definitely a moment that gave you chills.
Yes. Yeah.
My favorite performer is going to be our Austin Paul. Particularly that scene I mentioned earlier when he says, "I'm a team player." He's so damn cruel, and the kind of energy that R puts behind it, it's very believable, and it's something that, like, I don't know. I hate that character. Like, he's a really good villain, in that way, and I just every time he's on the screen, I'm like, "God, you're such an asshole." Like, I can't wait until he gets his, But the reason why that character comes to life in that way is because of our Austin Paul. So, yes, he's my favorite for this episode.
Yes.
He did a great job.
He was my second choice. for sure.
Really? Yeah.
100%, yes. At first, I was gonna put him, and then I saw Dorothy, the character Dorothy, at the end. I was like, okay. Oh. Do you have anything else to add before we go?
I don't think so. I'm excited for the last 2 episodes, see where it goes.
Yes.
There's a lot more directions to explore with these characters. So I'm very hopeful
Mhm.
for a 4th season. Yeah.
I will say that maybe the premiere of Revival, another Blue Eyes Pictures series, Revival premieres the week after SurrealEstate ends. I think since SYFY put those 2 shows back to back, that it's a good
Uh-huh.
sign that maybe, because if SYFY was maybe planning on canceling SurrealEstate, I believe they would have saved Revival for the fall.
Oh, that makes
You're
sense. Yeah.
right. So having Revival premiere right after SurrealEstate, I think is a good sign. So hopefully,
Mm.
hopefully we hear something. And I know, Revival, I believe, is 100% going to be at Comic-Con this year.
Oh, awesome.
And it would be cool if they also brought along SurrealEstate. If so fingers
Yeah.
crossed it gets made.
And if you need to catch up on SurrealEstate, go to Hulu. They have seasons 1 and 2. Otherwise, SurrealEstate is on the SYFY network every Thursday night at 10/9 Central.
Then again, please let us know what segments or suggestions you have for this, because we're going to be doing this again for Revival. Dani, are you down for that, for Revival, or are you down for a WitchSlapped?
Yeah,
Okay,
for
cool.
sure.
Yes, and then we're going to have another one of our co-hosts, Christina, join us as well. So it's going to be 3 of us. Going to be really exciting. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we've missed you. And thanks for sticking with us. Once again, I'm Rowell,
And I'm Dani.
and we will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.